Thank you. Any other questions?
I have a question.
Go ahead. Tafadhal.
Why Muslim women wears hijab? And is there another religion, Christian or Jewish, originally God asked the woman, Christian woman, to wear hijab?
Is that really a question or is it not? Good question. Why do Muslim women wear the modest clothing that would be called hijab? And has that been in earlier or other religious traditions? I will first answer that from an Islamic perspective, which Muslim women are honored by the modest dress in the Quran. And in the Quran, it is not an authority of a man over a woman, or something like, for example, when she gets married, she starts to wear. Rather, the Quran says that so that they can be known as free, as honorable women. So it is to dignify and honor a woman. If we are to speak openly and honestly and not with political correctness, and I'm going to apologize ahead, especially to the masjid here, because I speak raw. That's where I'm from, that's how I keep it. Most people believe in a hypocritical stance nowadays. Men will come to women and say that I don't look at women to lust, I only believe in thinking of her as a great person, but they're usually lying. Right? Sorry guys, I'm gonna out you guys. When we see women dressed in a tiny bikini and so on, most men, unfortunately, and you can look at peer-reviewed journals, studies and so on, they evaluate the woman on her physical body. And they think of her as that. I mean, here we see women dressed much more modestly, which is great. But if you go to San Diego, to the beach, you will see a whole different ballgame. What happens there is now a woman becomes an object of man's lust. And that's why if you see commercials, you see women dressed in very inappropriate clothing, even though it's a chewing gum commercial or it's a car commercial. It's got nothing to do with the subject, but it's used as a marketing tool. It's used to make a person into an object. And in Islam, we condemn that. Our Muslim sisters, they dress modestly. So when they speak, we have to listen to what they're saying and appreciate them for their intelligence and for their faith and their dignity, not for their measurements. We don't set up this kind of a society where a woman feels that she's not good enough because she doesn't look like a particular model on TV, and we have people trying to make themselves throw up and surgeries just to try to fit a mold that they shouldn't have to. In Islam, we believe in that, and this is not just for women. As you see, none of us are sitting here in biker shorts and bikinis for men either. We dress modestly. We dress in a way that's dignified. And this is not something unique to Islam. I mean, as I said, I will speak from a Muslim perspective because it's something ordained in the Quran and the Sahih Hadith. If we look at the Bible, we find verses where women are ordered to cover their hair while prophesying or preaching, and if not, then their head would to be shaved, but if that is shameful, for them to cover. And we find in the earlier traditions, if you look at depictions of early Christians, you will not find them walking around in miniskirts and things like this, but rather in a modest dress, head coverings and so on. And you will find this in some of the other religious traditions, like for example Catholic nuns, even though it's somewhat going away today. And earlier than that, and you will find this in the Jewish scriptures. Now, some of the rules and regulations are a little bit different. Like in the Jewish scriptures, for example, the covering of the head starts from after marriage. And in the Bible, for example, it's shown as the authority of man on a woman, right? So on. So those are a little bit different. In Islam, it's a little bit different. But that tradition can be found in many religious traditions in the past. Until today, even if you look at the LDS traditions, you will see a very modest dress.